yeah, he's out. Hello and welcome to Team Friends YouTube page. I am Eric the Cyborg, or Team Brennan, coming with you with a long update from way long ago. We finally have Halka Fibrex, which I don't know why they didn't keep his name as Needle Fiber, but I guess that. Anyway, this is Crystrons. Yeah, him being used actual Crystrons is a big surprise, I know. And we're outside, even though we're supposed to be inside. But screw the law. Don't always obey the law. All right. Anyway, let's get into it. So start off with your main normal summons. Running the Gen X package of 3 Undyne and 1 controller. For Undyne, when she's normal summoned, you send 1 water monster from your deck to the graveyard. That is cost, by the way. And then if it goes through, you add this little guy to your hand. The reason why I'm running him, because he's a main way to bring out Needle Fiber or Halka Fibrex, for what his official TCG name is. Only one. I mean, yes, he can be a brick, but there are ways to like get him out of your hand pretty easily. Additional summon, I only found 2 Scrap Recyclers. I'm looking for my 3rd one, but definitely agree with it. If you have 3, when it's summoned, you can send a machine monster from your deck to the graveyard, and that's for any machine. I mean, they're all machines already, so definitely run 3 of the Scrap Recyclers. Those are your main normal summons of the deck. Onto the actual Crystron lineup. For the tuners, triple of Crystrons Citry. For her, she's your main tuner for your deck. You'll mainly summon her off of a Needle Fiber. What she does is that during your opponent's main phase or battle phase, you target one non-tuner monster in the graveyard, summon it, and then you get to secret summon with it right away, and the badge instead of actually going to the graveyard, but also helps out with the other tuner of Ryan. He's the same thing as Citry, except he targets a non-tuner in your banish pile, summon it out, and then you secret summon during your opponent's turn. So these are your main Crystron tuners that you run. You don't play Quan because summoning from the hand is kind of a minus out of it. But for this right now, these are your main ones. So the main actual monster lineup is a triple of Sulfefnir. I forgot what he does. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you get to discard 1 Crystron card, no Crystron card, except for itself, and then you summon it, out. And then when it's summoned, you target 1 card on your field and destroy it. So basically, you would summon Sulfefnir out, target itself, popping itself, and then when he's destroyed, you summon a Crystron monster from your deck. So it could be any of the tuners, or any of the other Maytag monsters, which would also include of. I might butcher this name, so work with me, people. Theswyvern. Either way. All the Crystron Maytag monsters have a similar on-field effect, is that you target 1 card on your field, destroy it, and you summon a Crystron tuner from your deck. Yes, you summon a Crystron tuner from your deck, but if you do that, you are locked into only summoning machine secret monsters from your extra deck that turn. You mainly never use those effects. You mainly use the graveyard effects. Is that for him? You could banish him from your graveyard to add a Crystron monster from your deck to the hand. Only 2 Smiger. I might put a third one in the near future once the game comes back up and running. What he does is he banish him from your graveyard to add a Crystron spell or trap from your deck to the hand. Double Price Turtle. Price Turtle banishes itself from the graveyard to summon a Crystron monster from your hand. And then Rosenex, banish it. You summon a Crystron token. So that's all of the Crystron monsters. Onto the only hand trap I'm running right now is Triple Ash Blossom, Sash Blossom. She might be changed for different hand trap depending on how this format goes. Anyway, onto the spells. It's a very small lineup. Running 2 Moria Greeds. I can't find the second copy of this, but definitely run a run 2, maybe 3 if you want to. Reason why you run Moria Greed is that you never want to see the tuners, the Crystron tuners in your hand. You always want them to come out from your deck. So this is a good way to shovel them back in. 1 terraforming for the field spell that I'll show you later in a bit. A monster born because you have nice things. Field spell running is 2 Starlight Junction. I might include a third one if I can find a third one somewhere. Its first effect, you don't really use it for that effect, but the main effect you use is that during your opponent's turn, when you summon when you secret summon during your opponent's turn, you get to shuffle back 1 card on the field back to the deck. So it's a good disruption during your opponent's turn. And then triple Call by the Grave, because you don't want your monsters to get hand trapped, because hand traps really hurt this deck and you definitely just want to say no to it. And then 1 Foolish Burial for extra graveyard setup. For the traps, I'm running triple Crystron Impact. I might bring this down to 2. For what this does is that when you activate it, you target one banished Crystron monster, and you summon it, and your opponent's monster's defense go down to 0, which correlate with the Crystron secret monster, which I will show you guys later on. And then while it's in the graveyard, if a card or effects that would target a Crystron monster is activated, you can banish this and then negate and destroy that card. So it's also protection at the same time. These are placeholders for right now. Running 2 of a Dynamiscus. I might eventually just run him in here because he is also pretty good removal, and it also helps set up your graveyard by discarding your Crystron monsters. But I'll figure it out eventually once the format comes back into fruition after the whole virus blows over. As the main deck, onto the extra deck. The main boy. 2 of Crystron Halka-Fibrex. So for those who don't know what he does or what he needs to be summoned, he needs 2 monsters, and one of the monsters must be a tuner monster. Super generic, really broken. If he is link summoned, you summon one level 4 or lower tuner monster from your deck, from hand or deck. Its effects are then during your opponent's main phase or battle phase, you would banish this card as cost from the field, obviously, to summon one Synchro Tuner monster from your extra deck, and is treated as a Synchro Summon, which would also trigger off the field spell to spin a card back to the main deck. The only other Link monster I'm running is Link Spider for the tokens and the Genetics controller. Yeah. Onto the Synchros. I really wish we had more space for the extra deck, because this deck can run a whole bunch of Synchro monsters. I just had to really just like narrow it down to like the bare brass of what I can have. Triple Quandax. This is gonna be the main Synchro Tuner that you'll summon off of how Fibrex's effect. All it does is a Synchro Summon during your opponent's turn. That's really all it's there for. And then for this, when it's destroyed by battle or card effect, it's into the graveyard. You summon one non-Synchro Crystrons monster from your graveyard. So pretty much any of the main deck Crystrons monsters. One of Amatrix, running only one of him because, I mean, you only really need the one of him. When he's summoned, you can change all monsters on your opponent's field to defense position, which also correlates with the trap card, which makes them all 0 defense. And then same thing when it's destroyed, you summon a non-Synchro Crystrons monster from your graveyard. One powered Insectron. You summon this. You summon this card during your opponent's turn, and you basically take no damage for the whole rest of the turn, whether it be battle, effect damage, anything. So really good to come into clutch. Another Synchro Tuner you could run is Coral Dragon, because I mean, you just run him because he's also a water, which also helps out with one of the Synchros in the extra deck. Once per turn, discard a card, pop a card in the field, and then when this dies, you draw a card. Dawn Dragster, Spell Trap Negation, Machine Synchro, definitely going to need it. Personal choice, I'm running a White Oral Whale. For this one, when it's summoned, you can destroy all monsters that your opponent controls that are in attack position. So it's basically a nuke. And then when this, if this dies, you banish one water monster from your graveyard, and then you get to bring it back. So it's basically just always coming back. And then Crystrons level 9, Crystrons Phoenix. When it's summoned, you just banish all spells and traps on your opponent's field and graveyard. This basically just hurts a lot of decks. This hurts Paleos. If Sky Strikers were still around, this would definitely kill Sky Strikers. Just any deck that's like really dependent on their spells and traps, they just get banished automatically. And then when this dies, you summon just any Crystrons monster from your graveyard. Double of the archetypal Trish, or also known as Quirion Gandrax. That's a really hard name to say. Anyway, when he's summoned, he's basically like Trishula, which is not quite a run. Except for him, he only targets monsters on the field. It's either field or hand. Yeah, you target monsters your opponent controls and or in their graveyard. So you target monsters on your opponent's field or graveyard, depending on how many materials you use to summon it. Banish them, and then when this dies, you summon back one banished monster. That could also be the monsters that you banish through his effect, because it just says any banished monster. So you banish something like, I don't know, like if your opponent had a Boral Sword in the graveyard and you banished it, this dies, you just summon back their Boral Sword because it was banished. So that's how it is. Anyway, that is my current update for Crystrons. I'm gonna work on it. Here and there. There is no side deck right now because as of right now, the game is put it on a hold right now. So yeah, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Click the bell to be notified for when more future videos come up. We'll definitely try to get them out as soon as possible. And we hope to see you all next time. Be safe.